But I figure if I could go and run for office there, I might be able to change the world. Listen, I might be suffering delusions of grandeur. I wanted to go, I wanted to run for office, I wanted to get in control of my destiny. I've been exiled from a state that I think as many people love me as hate me.
When Cody started kind of talking about this, running for office and changing laws, and all of a sudden I just went, it's never gonna end. We're never gonna just have peace. I just don't want to do that again.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Monday, April 8th, 2024. In the beginning of March, A&E featured an episode of Secrets of Polygamy, and in the episode, a former member of the Apostolic United Brethren named Jesse Rayner exposed a secret group of men that were set to protect the church and church leaders, along with protect the church from outsiders and the federal government or the state government. Jesse exposed a family member of Robyn Brown as being someone that called him to this secret militia. Mike Bowles, who is the brother-in-law of Robyn and married to Fawn, her younger sister, by like a year. Mike and Fawn have been married. She is the second wife to Mike. She is not the legal wife, and she and Mike have a bunch of kids. But Mike Bowles was outed by Jesse Rayner as being a man that called him to the militia. Now, he didn't necessarily say that Mike was in charge of it, but he was a part of it. Mike Bowles' name in this episode was pretty alarming because Mike is a bishop in the Apostolic United Brethren. He is married to Robyn's sister, placing Robyn an arm's length away from this secret group that had been outed not only by Jesse Rayner on A&E, but a damning expose that was published by the Salt Lake Tribune in March of 2019 has some extremely curious timing if you understand that Robyn's brother-in-law was literally just outed as being a person that called men to this group. A damning expose was written about this group on March 9th and 10th of 2019 by the Salt Lake Tribune. Mike Bowles' name was not listed in this group. However, March 10th and March 11th of 2019 are the last days that Robyn Brown posted on her Instagram for both My Sister Wives Closet and her personal Instagram. Up until this point, Robyn was regularly posting on both. She was doing giveaways. She had just launched a brand new sterling silver collection. There was absolutely no reason to suspect that March 10th and 11th would be the last days that she would ever post any new content or items for sale or abandon her entire social media platform. So this article that was published by the Salt Lake Tribune effectively outed that the church the Brown family comes from was running a secret militia that was really highly skilled in military. And in this expose, they had emails between this guy, Jesse Rayner, and other people that were a part of this group. They had emails between Jesse Rayner, who's the guy that outed them, and the former Green Beret from the Army that was doing the training for this group named Scott Mangles. Scott Mangles was also a member of the AUB. They also linked many preparedness or prepping companies to this group of men. Jesse provided emails. He showed photographs. He had his gear. He had the equipment he was supposed to have. He had manuals. He had a badge that they would wear. And it placed this militia throughout the entire groups of the AUB in Utah. So it was tying them to a group in Lehigh, in a group in Eagle Mountain, but the primary group was located in Mount Pleasant and in Rocky Ridge. And Mount Pleasant is where Robyn's sister lives. And that's where Mike Bowles lives. So according to the article, this militia had two functions. One was to provide security for the AUB's top men and the wider church community. He said that he drove an SUV on patrols outside AUB dances with a holstered pistol. It was also to act as a militia if hostile forces, whether it was the US government, foreign invaders, angry mobs, or whoever, came to AUB communities. He explained that the plan was to move as many followers as possible to Heritage Grove Campground, which is a commercial campground which the AUB still owns, within walking distance of the Mount Pleasant AUB community. The campground has a pond and is operated by the AUB-controlled real estate company. So they were preparing to have people, in the event that something bad happened, to move them all to this specific campground. And when they confronted the AUB about this, the AUB was sort of like, oh, no, it got a little bit more military than we wanted, and we completely disbanded it. They really tried to separate themselves and say that this wasn't really true. According to the documentation that they provided, that Jesse Rayner provided to the Salt Lake Tribune, they had meetings once a week in someone's garage. He provided emails and spreadsheets, which provided that showed the first few months focused on equipping and training the dozen or so men. An email from Mangles, which instructed the recruits to arrive at a field in San Pete County on the last Thursday of September 2011 to learn how to navigate with a compass, and it stretched through the night so they could learn to get around in the dark. It said on early Fridays, according to our itinerary, they woke up and were put through exercise, teaching then military maneuvers and strategies, and they told everyone to bring a paintball or airsoft gun. They also have emails that discuss how some of the members were traveling to Fort Sight Firearms Training Institute in Pahrump, Nevada, to become proficient with pistols and rifles. And he said that PPT members were encouraged to apply for concealed carry permits in either Nevada or in Utah. They mentioned, there's emails mentioning getting copies of the U.S. Army's Ranger Handbook. Squad members were told to buy specific types of camouflage fatigues similar to light green patterns worn by the Army. They were supposed to have AR-15s, Smith & Wesson 9mm pistols, specific blades for knives and sheaths. They also had to have non-lethal equipment like first aid kits, flashlights, and sleeping bags. They had group chats, which they called and labeled the Knitting Club. They had nicknames for each other. Most people within the AUB wouldn't have known about this unless they were in it or had a family member inside of it. So this goes out on March 10th, 2019. It's the most detailed account of what is going on in the AUB. The AUB tries to separate themselves from it and say this was not a militia, that's not what we're doing, this is a lie. And it would be illegal. I want to put this on record. It would be illegal for them to have this because militias of this nature are illegal in the United States. You cannot have a separate organized military. It's not legal. And that's why they said, that's why the AUB put out that statement and said, oh, it got more military than we wanted to. So when people started calling it a militia, we disbanded because they knew that it's illegal. So this illegal group is kind of outed on March 10th, 2019. That is the exact day that Robyn Brown stopped posting on her My Sister Wives Closet Instagram. And March 11th is the last day that she posted on her primary Instagram. It's very, very strange timing. I can't say that there's any sort of connection outside of the fact that I know that Robyn Brown is a very paranoid woman, and she is the type of person that thinks that, people are going to are out to get her. She had to live in privacy. She's like terrified of like law enforcement. And the day after this report, the day that this report comes out, this is what she posted on her Instagram. I love God with all my heart. It is so amazing when you know He's aware of you. It is the ultimate love. He accepts all of your flaws, mistakes, and loves unconditionally. You are His. And then the other post she made the next day was a quote from Corinthians, which said, "Let everything you do be done in love, and then love will save the day." And that was it. Prior to this, none of her posts had God mentioned in them really. She mostly was posting content for My Sister Wives Closet or to promote the show. She was rarely posting quotes about God. And her last item that she promoted on My Sister Wives Closet was a dog tag, which, as you know, is generally something that's used in the military, although people wear dog tags as jewelry as well. And I'm not saying that the dog tags have anything to do with this militia group. That's just the last item that she was promoting was a Sterling Collection Ron Shell dog tag pendant. So that's the last time she promotes My Sister Wives Closet, which is really weird because on her Instagram, she was doing a giveaway in February. They were doing videos constantly. There was no reason to believe that she would stop promoting this. And the day, March 10th, is the day of a new Sister Wives episode and I looked at the episode and it literally has nothing happened in that episode that would have been negative really for Robyn. It's them discussing a move to Flagstaff. They get their property, like they get notified that their offer that they put on the property at Coyote Pass was accepted with all these different restrictions, and they're discussing moving. And they go to the property for a while, and they're looking at property in Arizona. So there was nothing happening on that day specifically that would have been indicative of Robyn just stopping her business. So it's just very strange timing. And it's like this article comes out by the Salt Lake Tribune. Her last thing is the dog tags. Then 2 days, the day of and the day after, she posts 2 God quotes and then she's gone. We now find out that family members connected to her were part of this group. We're also finding out that there were ties of this group into Nevada. And because of the way that this article was written, they did not indicate anyone that was in this that was not a leader of the church. So they named one of the bishops named Jeffrey Kuntz, who was running a group in, I think, Mount Pleasant. As you know, he talked about the PPT. They spoke to Tony Jensen, who was a son of Lemoyne Jensen. But other than that, other members of this group refused to speak to the Salt Lake Tribune. So we don't know who else was a part of this. I think the weird thing is that they're going into Nevada, which isn't very far from where Cody lives, to go do gun training, but that could be a coincidence. It could also be a coincidence that she completely stopped posting that same day. But I kind of suspect that she removed herself based on fear and based on her paranoia. And they had always been saying for a very long time that they were a benign group, that they weren't like the other groups. Like they were not doing the bad behaviors of the other groups. And then this article comes out that kind of proves differently, that they are literally preparing for the end of the world. They're preparing to fight against they have an illegal militia that's preparing to fight against the federal government. They're getting training in explosives. These are not typical normal behaviors of a church by any means. As far as what was going on privately for the Browns at this point, Cody and Robyn were in the process of moving. She and Cody were packing up their rental in spring of 2019. They bought a house and they moved into a new home in August of 2019, which is the home that they currently reside in today. And they had moved into that home, I think, in June or July of 2019. Part of it could have been related to her having to move. Even if that's the case, if she needed to have taken a break simply for the move or to get her life in order, she would have come back, but she never came back. She never returned to Instagram. My Sister Wives Closet was never promoted ever again. The same day that this article comes out, they stopped promoting My Sister Wives Closet, and it's done. It's just very strange. Someone had mentioned this in a comment to me, so I wanted to do a video to sort of tie this all together. So now that we know that Mike Bowles, her brother-in-law, was involved in this and was recruiting members into this, it makes you wonder if like Cody was involved. It makes you wonder if any of Cody's brothers might have been involved, or if any of Robyn's brothers might have been involved, or, you just don't know. The Brown sons would have been way too young to have been involved in this. I want to be very clear about that. So Cody's sons would have been way too young, because this was like 2012 and 2013. But it's just a very strange coincidence. So make that what you will, but Robyn is a very paranoid individual. And this militia was also outed again on March 4th, 2024 on the Secrets of Polygamy episode. And I did a video about that. And then Robert Garrison Brown passed away on the same day, which is a complete coincidence. It's just a very eerie coincidence. And I'm not saying anything has to do with Garrison's death. I'm simply saying that, like, they did the episode on A&E on March 4th, and that's the same day Garrison died. So I did a video about it, which was widely ignored because of the news about Garrison. But I posted it the exact same day as the death was announced of Garrison Brown. So that was the day we learned that Mike Bowles was involved. So knowing that Mike Bowles is involved, knowing that her sister's family is tied to this, I have a suspicion that Robyn got very paranoid and left the internet out of fear. She might think it's haters, but I would suspect it could have been out of fear. But that's just my assumption here, and that's the news. The article will be linked in the description box where you can learn more about it. The episode on A&E Secrets of Polygamy, it aired March 4th, which you can find on Hulu or on A&E's website or your major cable outlets. And let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Make sure to leave a comment if you have something to say. And please share this video with your friends. And thanks for watching. Bye, guys.